maybe we can play a little game here called "What Can You Do for Them?" And so let's talk through what lawyers can do for their clients and for their strategic partners. And if you come up with a couple and I come up with a couple, someone listening might be like, wait a second, I've got now 5, 6, 7 things that I can do for my clients that gives me a reason to call them. It gives me an angle I hadn't thought of before. And so the most obvious one, and I'll start us off in this little game that we're about to play that you didn't know you were going to play, is welcome to my world, is obviously finding them business. If you've got a CEO, a GC, someone that needs something like business, or they need a new employee, or they need something that's going to help them be more successful in their career, life, business, obviously keep your eyes open for that and make those proactive introductions. What would be another thing that a lawyer could do for a client, for example, that would add value for them in the while they're waiting for that next matter to come in?
Sure. I mean, talking to them about what's going on in their business. And I mean, we've always talked about making sure you understand your client's business, not just the issue at hand, right? So you can have your alerts set up and find out what's going on with them. But if you practice one area of law, your firm practices one area of law, that means you need to be able to refer these clients out to other people. So if you're actually listening to what the client has to say about what other problems are, you can reference them to somebody else, someone you care that will do a good job, and they will love you for life back. So that's solving another one of their problems versus, what you were saying is finding them maybe that next CEO or something like that. Those are obviously super helpful as well, but just helping to listen to their problems and being an ear on the ground for it.
Well, let's take that even further and say you're maybe not doing your job as a counselor, as a lawyer, if you're not asking questions, identifying risks and problems that your client has, and then leveraging your firm, your network to solve them, right? So I think that's an area where lawyers can feel good about business development without feeling salesy. You're not selling them services. You're asking questions, identifying pain points and problems, and then actually bringing in more business. But it's because you were smart enough to identify it. That's an area that I think, in speaking with Claire Fanner over at the UK and just generally, lawyers are missing the boat on that.
Right. So, to take that even to the most simplest terms, if we want to talk about who the best rainmakers are, they're the ones who are actually listening to their client.
Yeah.
They're not solving their problems before they've even asked what the problem is. They're actually listening to find out what the problem is and see how they can help them get through whatever that might be. And whether that's them resolving it through their own work or using their network to be better at it. Let's
keep this game going for another minute or two. We've got, obviously giving them prospects and things that are going to benefit their business, trying to find them, help them, maybe finding good employees and stuff like that. Asking good questions to engage them, show we care, but also for that cross-marketing opportunity. And then I would add to that, leveraging your network to make good connections. So even if it isn't a prospective client or whatever, if you've got someone that's going to add value, someone that you identify that they have a real issue around compensation, they don't understand like how to do comp for the new age, and you've got a compensation expert in your area, they're selling their business, a valuations expert. You need to ask these questions, not only for cross-marketing, but also to maybe bring in some talent. And that way, again, you're adding value through your network. Right.
Correct. And again, it goes back to knowing your client more than knowing the file, right? And paying attention to what they're doing and what's going on with them.
Yeah.
All of that matters. It all makes a difference on them getting better.
What else would be a good outreach for a lawyer to add value for a client or someone that is in their network outside of what we've shared so far? Any other thoughts on that?
I mean, in the legal space, the easy one is when laws are about to change or something is coming up. How is it going to affect your client, and how can you actually get in front of them before they have to worry about it? So you're actually taking the pain away before they even have the pain, right?
Yeah.
We have a new legislation coming through about a right to disconnect, or it's through already, but it's when people can be contacted in their companies and what have you. So it's a bit of a big deal, right? Now that people are working from home, what are those parameters around things? Well, if you can get in front of your client and say, here's what we're suggesting for your business, then they're like, great, thank you. I don't have to worry about this anymore. Give me a couple here, give me some options and what the best advice is going forward.